this is Fury with Fury's Insanity, signing in with another video. Today, we've got a Minecraft challenge. I'm going to speed build. I've got 20 minutes. Let's do this.
Hello there.
Why should I sail with any of you?
And I'll blow your ass up so bad that they'll be piecing you back together for weeks.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I'm Batman.
I am the Senate.
I need a weapon.
Roll out! We roll.
It's just very new to me. One, this is the Java edition. I'm used to playing on Bedrock. And two, this is creative, not survival. Now, with the RLCraft series, I feel like I've gotten the controls down pretty well, but that doesn't involve flying. So going up and down during this was pretty difficult for me. I tried to get the foundation down first. For me, the most important thing is always doing the foundation first, because then you know what structures you want where. You can figure out the landscape before you start building, so then you don't run into a big issue in the future. I chose this landscape here because I thought it would be an interesting thing to do in between two mountainsides. It's been a long time since I've seen a clear-cut river like this go through a mountain, and I really enjoy pieces like this. Honestly, I might revisit this specific seed in the future, redo it, test something out, but as you can see here, the first thing I do, I build the bridge. I like doing that. I like going ahead and connecting it and then deciding how I want to do it. I normally do a lot more intricate bridges when I build, but I thought I'd go ahead and make it simple and as quick as possible with this. If you guys would like to see a more in-depth build, more than gladly will do that. But I did have somebody challenge me to do it within 15 or 20 minutes, so I did my best to do so. I did go a little bit over, but I am kind of OCD with my builds. I would also love to do a challenge with someone else involved as well. I would love to do this with one of you guys or several of you guys. See who can build the fastest, see who can build the best. Especially if it's on Xbox. Y'all are gonna have some destruction coming your way, if you know what I mean. But went ahead and laid out the two small foundations. I had a lot planned for this build, and then I really realized, holy shit, I am completely running out of time. I did not expect this to be as hard as it was, and honestly, it was intense. Like, every single second counted, and I really would like to redo this sometime, do this again, try something out, try out some new landscapes. Potentially, if you guys would like to challenge me, you could challenge me not only with time, you could challenge me with the types of items I use, try to make me build a certain way with a certain type of object. That is completely up to you guys. I really enjoy stuff like this. It's been a really long time since I've done it, but I've definitely never done it for a video before, so it's pretty exciting. As you guys can see, just chopping away the good old dirt. Finishing the foundation on the second side. I have a very specific way of building foundations. This is a new version that I'm trying out. I'll show you guys my main one later on, but I like to build in blocks before I start the foundation, and I'll actually use the blocks, ironically, to add asymmetrical details. I'll build the foundation in squares so that I can plan out where I'm going to add my curves and angles and cuts. That way I can plan out beforehand that the building won't be super square. The reason I did this particular foundation style is actually for that reason as well. I knew that since I had a time limit, I wouldn't be able to add a whole lot of detail to the foundation and to the bottom of the building or whatever. So I really like adding depth. If you can't always add that extra bit of detail, that extra bit of curvature, and asymmetrical detail, then another good way to do it is by adding depth. It makes it look more 3D, less blocky. 3D is not the word I'm looking for, but you guys should understand what I mean. At first I didn't know what I was going to do with this podium beside the bridge, and then I decided to put a statue on there. You guys will see that here in a couple minutes. Actually, here shortly. I decided to do this. At this point, I definitely realized that I was running out of time very, very quickly, so I added just some small details. I wanted to add this almost like a porch. I had a lot bigger plans for it, but you guys know, like I said, I really love the lanterns. The lanterns are by far my favorite style of lighting now. I feel like they are very, very fitting for a lot of builds. They make making lampposts incredibly easy. Obviously, there are other lampposts that look good. Typically, putting a piece of glowstone surrounded by the trapdoors normally looks pretty good. But lanterns are standalone. Get a piece of fence and put them on top of it, and they just sit on the ground. You don't need to hang them anywhere. If you really wanted to, you could just put them on the ground, and they work perfectly fine. I think they add a lot of detail. Not only do they add light, but they add a lot of detail. And they do take iron when you're in survival, but at the same time, it's so totally worth it. I've saved up iron a lot of times in my survival worlds just to make lanterns. By the way, just so you guys know, there are a couple cuts here where I jump, but that's not me building. That's me when I have been AFK. There was a few times during this video I had to step away from my computer to do a couple things. So, yep. This is the first time I have done a challenge like this. So, if you guys have any tips, tricks for me, if you have any advice, challenges like I said, please let me know. I really want to do stuff like this, and if there's any of you that would like to do this with me, please tell me. While I was doing this roof, I really wanted to try something different. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this style, but since it was on top of the mountain and I decided that for the roof I wanted to use nether bricks, I wanted to use a more, what's the word, not Japanese style, a more Zen style, I guess, more Asian looking design. So I tried to go for a taller look. And you guys will see, I didn't decide to do the interior. I realized that I definitely didn't have enough time for that. I wouldn't have gotten to add any detail to the outside of the map if I hadn't. So I didn't worry about the inside dimensions with this build because of that, because I had decided about halfway through not to do the inside. I realized I didn't have enough time for it. And I decided to change the ends of the roof so that I could put lanterns on them, add a light source, because I really like looking at the more Asian style houses. They have a lot of orange looking lights. They have a lot of nice lighting to them, and I feel like that always really adds to it. And at the same time, having lights towards the top of the house always makes it stand out a little bit more, makes it glow a little bit, and will catch people's attention from far away. So that's especially what I like to do when I'm on servers with people. I like to catch their attention. Not that I'm an attention whore or anything, but I really do enjoy making nice builds. And if people see it, they'll come look at it. They'll give me their advice. They'll tell me how I can change things and adjust things. And it's just a really nice thing to know. So I skipped building the second statue. I put a second statue on the back for you guys. But I think this build's pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed doing it. It's not my best work by far, but I think I did a fairly decent job in my opinion with how quickly I built this. I know 25 minutes might not seem like a super short time to you guys, but especially for somebody like me, it was. Like, I could have spent 2 or 3 hours on this, could have added a super lot of detail. That's what I like to do. I like to add detail as bad as I am at it. I go overboard all the time. That's just who I am. But I really enjoyed this challenge, and I would love for you guys to give me your advice, challenge me to do more things, and do this with me. But that will be all for this video. This is Fury with Fury's Insanity, and I will catch you in the next video. This video was sponsored by Your Mom. If you'd like to find out more information, contact 1-800-YOUR-MOM.